Hello, and we wanted to look at editing of photographs. And I wanted to use a few different softwares that you could consider. Picasa is a free software that is available from Google. Lightroom is from Adobe. And Photos is what is now shipping with Apple computers. So that comes with things. We used to have iPhoto, and some of the slides will be of iPhoto because I know a lot of you still work with that at this time. But these are the three possibilities. Now, things will be similar and things will be different. So this is Photos. I bring the pictures in by going to import, and most of these programs, finding the pictures and telling it to import. When I get an info, you can see I can see the title, I can see what camera, what lens I used. I could add a description and a keyword, and if it was a picture of a person, I could add faces. I can add it to an album or slideshow here. I can export it, and you see this particular program lets me export directly to Flickr. And I can edit the photograph. Now the editing in Photos is a little bit limited. There's Enhance. You click and it does what it does. There's Rotate. There's a Crop tool that lets you do both a rotation and a crop. There is some different little filters that you can choose from. It does show you a histogram where you can go lighter or darker. I think I'll get that last filter off. You can change the color and saturation, or you could go automatic, so you could block them out. And then there's some healing where you can get a healing brush and it will do something. You can see it sort of makes it kind of go away. Good for small places, but, and it says it, stop Picasa, he's taken over the, so drag and drop over spots to remove, option click to choose the source area. So if I want an option click here, and then it'll take it from there. If I wanted to get rid of this right here, this little pole, I would option click next to it and then go down. Likely though, if I wanted to do it well, make the size a lot smaller. Option click. Can blend it to some extent. Okay. You can move things around from the menus. You can see some of the controls here. Keyword manager can help you edit keywords. So there's quite a bit in photo, but not as advanced as what I would say, not as advanced as the old version that we had. Now, they sort of hide these things, which I find interesting. So if you go to adjustments, you actually can add sharpening. You can add definition. You can add noise reduction. And you can add vignetting. And you can add white balance. And why they hide them, I do not know. Here's our little eyedropper that some of you have seen me use in other versions. Levels is very powerful in terms of choosing what something will look like. Definition is a little bit like clarity that I've talked about some. This is not like this black and white. I can sharpen or unsharpen. Noise reduction has to do with high ISOs generally. And the vignette, we can change the power of it to actually lighten around the edges or darken around the edges. So there's some things really hidden in here, but they, as I said, they are hidden. So if we say done, there's our new photograph. And then we have a choice of sharing it. You can see all our photos. We can double click on here and we have projects we can do. We have albums. And so that's pretty much what photos can do. Let's reopen Picasa. And Picasa does sort of go and just, it's set up to grab stuff, so it grabs stuff because it wants to. A little bit annoying. But as a program, it's free, as I said. You can see there's lots of information over here on this side that you can see. It doesn't necessarily have any, this one doesn't have any location, doesn't have any people, and there is also a place to put tags. Here you can crop, and so there's sort of some shapes that they have, some that you can choose to go along. I'm going to cancel that. You can straighten, and this is a straightening tool. There's some auto contrast, auto color, and some light retouching where you can take a brush and do something to it. It's more about blemishes though. So if I want to get rid of this guy, not so cool. We can add text to it. There's some simple like fill light that opens the shadows, highlights, darkens the highlights. Shadows will darken the shadows versus opening the shadows. We can change the color temperature. We can do a neutral color picker and make something neutral. And we can have some fun with just clicking on different colors and making things happen. Or going with glow, and different kind of more filter effects are in this box. More different filter effects. Quite nice. Maybe not. No. And some specialty settings. So lots of things you can do in a real fun way with Picasa. It also has a relatively good, not that we'll talk about it in detail, but it does have a pretty good slideshow process. You can see there's lots of controls up here. Some people like the slideshow. So Picasa lets you share to Google, or you can export and then share your Flickr. The last one is Lightroom. Lightroom is the more professional tool. You can see that we can use Lightroom to do a lot of adjusting of pictures. We have control over the highlights and the shadows. And there's just a lot of features in Lightroom. It's fully integrated with Photoshop. And I have some presets over here if I want to give a kind of tone to it. And then in my library area, way too many windows open. I can publish it directly to Flickr. quite easily. And some of the pictures you've seen, that's how I get them in there. In fact, if you've looked at my final project, that was published through Lightroom. So a quick look at Lightroom, and there's more in this, and going to be in the slideshow, but quick look at Lightroom, Picasa, and Photos. And the ability to organize your work from something like Photos, which comes with a Macintosh computer, Picasa, which is a free download from Google, or the professional tool of Lightroom that we teach at Foothill College along with Photoshop. Each of them has their powers and their strengths, and explore. Thank you so much.